Sorry, chat. Talking to the girlfriend. Want some Taco Bell, dude. Mood. Morning clutch. Tired after last night. What were y'all doing? I was gonna watch the Bungie 3 stream through the freaking web, but I was having connection issues. They haven't started yet. They haven't gone live yet. Speaking of going live, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Whatever, no matter whatever time zone you happen to be in, welcome in. I know this is a little bit outside of my norm. I normally don't stream on Tuesdays, but we've got the dev live stream happening here in a little bit. In about 30 minutes, they're going to be going live. One second, let me get my lights on. There we go. Got my fancy lights in my room. Won't lie, chat. Part of me kind of wishes that if this wasn't an apartment, I would paint the room black or a dark color just so that my lights would actually stand out a little bit more. Did some DP final boss rush. Oh, nice. Nice. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with some DP with the homies. Anyways, and then so this morning, thanks to Lunar Silver Wolf, we have a Bungo bingo card that we're going to be playing through. So so we got all this stuff.
Hey, phrasing.
Y'all know what I'm all about. My Yolder is close to 50k light. Oh, dude, Bobby, I just got finished freaking upgrading all my characters, and I'm like, I'm low on freaking resources. I need to start grinding both freaking elemental fruit and the feathers. Like, I need them bad. What did you think of the link I sent you yesterday? What? Okay, refresh my memory, because yesterday I had so much going on. Like, and I hate Estella drops Thursday. Yeah, chat. So let's talk about that real quick. I'm gonna fire this up real quick while I get a second. Wolf, was that in a DM? No, it wasn't. Or was that in the Discord? Yeah, you pinned it. Okay, yeah, that, yeah, dude, that is a freaking awesome. Like, I'm gonna be honest, especially with Ash and Iron coming up, right? It's gonna be interesting having something like that, so that way you can get rid of your duplicates. But honestly, like, right off the rip, I'm gonna say this: they need to address vault space. Like, I know that they said they were gonna have something for not Ash and Iron, sorry, Renegades. But I'm kind of like, God, Bungie, you made armor great. I'll freaking give you that. But fuck, we need vault space. But at the same point, it's like a lot of us are kind of like at that point where maybe we need to start getting rid of the older weapons. I hate saying that. We get better vault filtering and 100 slots in Renegades. Is that what you think, or are you going off of leaks and rumors? Oh, no, understand, Lunar. Okay. What was I gonna say? I was gonna show. Oh yeah. So, chat, real quick, while we got a second. No, not character. Sorry, events coming up. We've already gotten the newest information concerning the next limited draw for Destiny Rising. Starts in 1 day, 19 hours. Estella got a trailer yesterday. We're going to watch that here in a second. And then we've got a new character, Yumiko. So I was going to say Yumiko kind of looks hunter-ish. So that's what I'm going with. So it looks like Void Hunter. Looks like a disc, bladed disc of some sort. It's going to be interesting how that relic's going to work. But this one looks really, really, really good. She looks like that one character from Apex. Briefly used him in the beta. Void Hunter with a shuriken. Ah, okay. So that's cool. So yeah, that is the new characters coming in a little under 2 days. So looking forward to that. By the way, I also want to give a shout out to Clutchmaster, my partner in crime over in the Wolfpack Bounds Warriors. We got our hanger up to level 4. So freaking Clutch by the pure
creator and consider giving them a follow.
By the purest definition, coming in clutch. Hey, what's up, Shoost? They just went live. Okay, we'll take a look at that here in a second. Just claiming that, and Shoost, I'll give you a boost since I was right there. Yeah. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and shut this down. So while Bungie is live doing their things, oh, they got music going on. All right, we'll get that going. Full screen. All right, so we got that going on. Real quick, we're going to pull up that trailer for Estelle. I'm going to mute this for a second. Black Ops Zombie delayed. Oh, wow. Why am I not surprised? Might need to freaking Destiny. Wait, Density. Freaking. Apparently, I can't type today. Rising. There we go. Estelle character trailer. All right, chat. Let's check this out real quick. What? Why the feet? Okay. So it looks like she's been through some shit. Oh, wait. Oh. Dude, have y'all noticed how freaking heavy on the freaking Ankara they are with this? Are we getting a new zone? Excuse you? How many of those things can she summon? Hey, freaking what? Big L, she uses Pulse and LMG? Nah, dog. Nah. Nah, I'm sorry. That's a freaking win in my book. That's a win in my book. That's going to be very interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I saved up. I'm so glad I saved up on resources. But we already got Kabar. Different characters, different abilities. I'm here for it. Kabar's more offensive. That looks like more offensive and possibly support. I am good with that. This isn't Tarkov. Did I select Tarkov? No, I'm on Destiny. Mustache, you freaking clown. All right. So we got the Ash and Iron going up. Freaking, what is up, Mustache? How you doing, brother? Unless they change Riven from 10 eyes to 8 eyes, probably not. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see the lore behind her. Which, by the way, the lore for some of these characters, but at least change up the heavy. I like the character. I don't like LMG that much. See, that's the thing. I love LMG in Destiny Rising because I actually feel like comparatively to Destiny, they actually hit significantly harder. I do think that they could use a little bit of a damage increase.
Check out this amazing creator.
Some weapons still don't like hit quite as hard, but then again, we're used to like Destiny meta. And I think for the sake of I think for the sake of Destiny Rising, take it as a difference, right? Because there's some stuff that's like not doesn't really require a whole lot of weapons, and then some things, yeah, abilities are gonna be freaking main power. So yeah, he was playing Fortnite last night. I went to go stop by into his stream last night, but he had just logged off. So I kind of missed out on that. Plus, I was working on thumbnails. By the way, chat, by the way, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but I've been working and improving myself with my freaking with my thumbnail use. Can we get props on this? Like freaking like I'm getting good with this. I'm no professional, but you know what? I'll freaking take it.
You're breathtaking.
Man, it's okay, boy, Dan. Next time we go hell diving, I'm gonna freaking plant a freaking bomb right on your freaking forehead. I see how it's gonna be. Yeah, I was streaming 6 hours last night. I haven't done that in a hot minute. Oh, dude, I bet. How did you like that? You fight the sun in Hollow Knight? Wolf Rose, I'm gonna tell you right now, that when I saw that clip, when I saw that clip, I was like, wait, what? And since then, I've gotten like back-to-back clips of other players' reaction to that boss. And I feel like I just spoiled myself if I ever decide to play Hollow Knight, right? You need someone to help edit graphics, considering I went to film school for 2 years. So funny you mentioned that, Lunar. I actually was like, I was hiring this guy. I met through Blue Sky and through Dizzy Designs, and he was doing my short form for a while. But the problem is that we had some extra expenditures start happening here at the apartment that I couldn't afford to do that anymore. And then when it comes to thumbnails, that's like something I've been focusing on myself more and more to do and learn. So like I'm learning Affinity Photo to the best of my ability to where I can do my thumbnails myself. Oh, speaking about thumbnails, because one of the things, update in an hour and 20, right? Yes, we've so we have the update happening in an hour and 20. In 20 minutes, we have the dev live stream that's going to be going live. Hey, what's up, Strider? What's up, Mad Racer? How are y'all's morning? The new exotic mission has a lot of jumping puzzles that you can yeet Dan off a cliff. Good. And also, Lunar, I don't like asking people to do stuff for free because I believe in compensating people's times. Which, speaking of which, I need to freaking, babe, the door. Sorry, we got breakfast incoming. Bro, you're the homie. I will do it. No. We will discuss offline, okay? Because like I said, I believe compensating people for their time, effort, and that is who I am. Okay, let's distract Dan. Exactly. Hey Dan, shiny, yeet the Dan. Okay. You're right. All you gotta tell Dan to say, "Hey Dan, watch out for butterfly. Watch out for the moths." Whoops.
I'm in danger.
That's a whole ass mood. I got stuff dropping. Woohoo! That's got to go there. I forgot that I was getting that coffee. Hey, look, Dan, look, goth mommy. I will literally throw steaks this Christmas.
This man in particular, huh?
They just booted me out of the game already? Yeah, because the maintenance has started, number one, because of the Ash and Iron update as of today. So when the games come back up in an hour and 15 minutes, we will have Ash and Iron. Yes. Easy peasy. Yep. Are you going to fail like you did in Kel's Fault? Hold on, babe. If you need to pick that up, I could have. What time is the dev live stream? 15 minutes. Did I fail Kel's Fall? Beer back gonna mute you for a second. Cool. Yes, can't wait. What time is so anyways, Cajun on a Tuesday? Is it?
Fly, bud.
Yes, this is actually a rarity letdown. We have the Destiny 2 Renegades and Ash and Iron dev live stream happening here in a second. They're going to be showing off the latest content that's going to be dropping later on in December, and then what is coming to us today in Ash and Iron. Server's going to crash out at 1 o'clock. Dude, I mean, we'll see what happens, to be honest. Unless they, I'm gonna say this, chat. Unless they announce something major, like something so freaking mind blowing that it's gonna freaking somehow bring the majority of players back to Destiny 2, I really don't see like servers crashing or anything. I really don't. I have the clip of you failing to yeet Dan off a cliff at Kelsall. No, that was a Warlord's Ruin. That was Warlord's Ruin. Well, it might have been both. Renegades is the new DLC in December. Yes, that is.
This is your news anchor, Bananakin Skywalker. Today we find out if Destiny 2 Renegades is worth the time or is a load of bantha poodoo. 14 minutes away. Remember, the Scarif operation was an inside job.
Can't wait to be able to log on right away. I mean, we'll see. So yeah. So chat, we're gonna be high hopes, mad feelings. I'm gonna say this, and I want to explain. I'm also gonna explain this. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm expecting the worst. If anybody served in the military or is a veteran, you understand where that comes from. Okay, you expect that the worst is going to possibly happen, but you're hoping for the best. So that way you set your expectations low. So that way, at the end of the day, if at your lowest you get let down, then you know it's absolutely freaking dog water. And I'm going to say that. Now, at the same time, Bungie has been shitting the bed nonstop. And I'm going to say this. Tyson Green better be there. Better be on this freaking... on his dev live stream, and he better be explaining himself because he has been so silent this entire time that he has been game director. It's about time he starts yapping and explaining himself. You just got the emblem? I might have to freaking refresh. Hold on. I got to refresh that. Okay, now I'm getting the emblem. Okay, so we're going to close out the chat and freaking maximize that again. All right. Zero expectations? Dude, I mean, 7590, I don't blame you. Did I hear a letdown? I know the feeling. I mean, at the end of the day, I'll claim it. Emblem for what? So if you were over on, sorry, I have to use this. If you're on the Purple app, and you go to the Bungie live stream, there is an emblem that you can watch. Watch them for 15 minutes. You will get it. Okay, sorry. Just had to double check something. So, that is what's going on. All right, which, actually, speaking of which, my channel, wait. Hold on. Let me go to my drop. Okay, no. I'm in progress. Okay, so progress right here. So let me show you. Oh, wait, that's the heavy metal round too. So basically right now, the Ash and Iron live stream. Sorry, I'll move that over. Ash and Iron live stream, if you're watching, 15 minutes of it, you get the Knights of Old emblem. So we'll maximize that out again. The military trained me to always prepare for the worst. It is what it is. Exactly, Azul. You get it. You get it. Jonathan Trout, thank you for the follow over on TikTok. Welcome in. I suppose I can double stream this on my phone and Bungie on Xbox. There you go. So that's kind of where I stand right now. You know, I'm really hoping that Bungie like starts changing what they've been doing, starts making better improvements. But at the same time, it's kind of like there's a part of me that's like, is this it? Is this where we're leading to, where basically it becomes a ghost shell of its former self? And for the most part, at that point, am I just playing like Destiny Rising, you know, for a bit? Possibly. I don't think they released the update already. Oh, well, this is also the mid-season update. Hey, what's up, Hazy? How you been, buddy? Haven't seen you in a bit. How's life treating you? I kind of feel that, Lunar. I feel that way with freaking Renegades as well. I feel like it's kind of make or break for me as well at this point. I found a clip of it in Discord if you want to see it. Okay. Lawless, I don't blame you. I really don't. Because I'll be honest. The way that they have the rest of the power grind for Ash and Iron, unless they're like bringing something like really significant, at best I'm gonna track out the activity. I'm gonna freaking do the exotic mission, get all the stuff I need to get, and then I might be chilling for a bit. And Hazy, thank you for the 5 gifted subs, brother. By the way, it is September, chat, so I'm not saying you have to, but if you feel like supporting me, got a little incentive. But if not, hey, I still appreciate you. Still love you. I'll be playing no matter what. I guess I quit as soon as they started Final Shape. I tagged it. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. I remember that now. There's multiple times I've tried to eat Dan off of a freaking cliff. And I failed. In an hour and 10 minutes. Azul Kage, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I mean, yeah, with any live service game, you have to take breaks. Okay, you have to take breaks. I've very rarely met anybody that can just keep playing. Dan is just very eatable. Oh, yeah, exactly. September has sadly gotten to the point of I don't know why Twitch still promotes it. It's only for first-time subs and can't be gifted. They do that. They do that for like the first half, and then like the later on, the last like week, that's when they usually open it up to the gifted, which I agree, letdown. I think it's kind of dumb. What a hand cannon, Raven. Cajun is very nukeable. Hey, can you not? Trying to get me splattered in the next Helldivers. All right, chat, we got 6 minutes.
Never got around to learning how to not be a whack-ass bitch either.
Oh, y'all got jokes. It used to be a blanketed discount, including bits upon, yeah, exactly, a while back. And like I said, it's just weird. Hey, babe, can you not? All right, Brian, I see those. Be right back, chat. 1 second. Yeah. Tally gets her little treats this morning, thanks to Prime. We giving out feed pics, say less. Hey, yo, no.
Now, the main problem area is up here. All of this going on up here is what's causing me the most physical discomfort.
Wolf Rose is like so not happy for freaking Renegades right now. Oh, God. Landon, I don't blame you. Part of me was like, why couldn't this be earlier? But then again, by the time that they're done with the live stream, the freaking servers come back up. And let's talk about the day in review video I saw on TikTok with a slick back hair. Dude. Since about 2022, I've gone through several like hair changes, right? But I think the biggest one I started doing the slick back hair, like I was growing out my hair for a bit, and I grew that. But then I started I was in such a tight financial situation to where I couldn't afford to go to the barber, right, to get a haircut. I just let my hair grow out like Hazy at one point. Yeah, Spicy Wiener Jesus is what everybody was freaking calling me at one point. Because freaking I had my hair down to what, between my shoulder blades? I think Ella's. Yeah, other people were saying I did look like did look like a hippie. Ash and Iron, baby, is the update free? Today's update, Ash and Iron, will be free to all players. Tebow. So, today's update free. Renegades will be paid content. Once again, now just to give a quick reminder to everybody, when it comes to Renegades, that is going to be the dungeon, that is going to be the campaign that comes with it, the new destination, and I think anything else after that is going to be free to everybody else. Hey, what's up, Stoic Gaming Dad? How you doing? What's up, Awoken? How you doing? You ready, Cajun? I'm drooling over here. I'm waiting to see. I'm going to say this. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm expecting the worst at this point. I had long hair in high school. Yep. Take a drink every time I hear first time or we're excited. If I could not have to go into work tonight, I would so make this a drinking game. I really would. Or old season armor coming back. I'll be honest. I know I did a TikTok previously talking about how I believe that you should bring back the Forsaken and the Red War campaign into the game. But like when it comes to armor and weapons, start making new stuff, Bungie. Seriously. I'm going to say this. I turned pissing you off into a drinking game. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. How does this work for new players? If you're okay, for new players, Ash and Iron starts today at when the servers come back online at noon. Okay, free to all players. Yay! Renegades in December will be paid content. It will be the dungeon. It will be the freaking campaign and the destination. Outside of that, everything else for that, just like with Edge of Fate, the quality of life, all that content to the portal and stuff will be free to players. I got my emblems, so I closed the Bungie stream. Nice. I pretty much They have deleted my vault, just not enough room anymore. I don't blame you, Hazy. Awoken, thank you for the freaking gifts over on TikTok. You are freaking appreciated. All right, I'm going AFK watching the stream, so be back momentarily. Take it easy, Lunar. I think they're starting, chat. Here we go. DMG! Can everybody hear that? Or do I need to raise it up more?
No idea we'd be here.
Chat, I
Today
didn't
we
realize
have
that
a
I
ton
had
to talk through, so we're going to rush through this. No, we aren't going to rush. But we have Renegades. We have some really cool stuff to talk about that's going to be coming in December.
All right, there you go.
A wonderful update from our development team. We've been listening. We're looking at your feedback, and we actually have some plans that are coming together right now to address it since Edge of Fate launched. And then
But
we
does
also have,
Tyson
on
Green
the second
hear
half of the
it?
show, we're going to be looking at Ash and Iron. We'll have a bunch of devs on the couch. We're going to talk about the activities, the loot, and potentially a new exotic that you might have been asking about. So, without further ado, Robbie, how you doing?
It better
Welcome
not be
back to the couch.
potential.
Hey,
It
Dylan,
better
it's,
be a
great to
fucking
be here.
exotic.
And like you were talking here in the intro, like we've got some really big changes coming based on all the feedback we've been getting from the Edge of Fate that we'll talk about right after we give a little bit of a first look at Renegades here. And that's why we got our laptops, right? There's a lot to get through.
All right, Chad, hold on. I got a bingo card I've got going on.
We're going to get through it all.
All right,
So we've been
we're
hard at work
listening.
on collaborating with
Here
our
we
friends
go.
at
First bingo
Lucasfilm
card.
Games to make something that is like unmistakably Star Wars, but authentically a Destiny story and experience. And so today we get to start pulling back the curtain on that.
And I'm going to embrace my inner Scarrow and ask, Robbie, is there a Vidoc?
Yeah, so y'all
Dude,
asked for it.
that
You're
freaking
gonna
key
get it.
art is
We're about to
freaking
play Vidoc.
gas.
That is our first look at the Lawless Frontier. You're stepping into a world of criminals, shady deals, with an arsenal at your disposal that you'll only be able to find within a black market here. that's
Cucumber
American.
Cabin, I'd be pissing
And so,
myself
yeah,
if I
let's
drank
take our
that
first
much.
Look at Renegades.
Seeing how stunningly Star Wars it felt was electric.
Oh!
I just jumped into that walker and I just annihilated the encounter.
Squeezing that trigger and feeling that blaster just go off, it was like a whole new world opened up for me.
There's something really special here that we haven't really done in Destiny before.
That ignition, that hiss, that sound.
All right, I'm disabling Tangia for the rest of this. No, you're good. You're good. Let down.
We begin in the shadow of a prophecy that says our end is already written. It's here we draw a line in the sand where we start the long journey to fight our fate. In Renegades,
Dude.
Guardians infiltrate a criminal underworld to save a friend whose past has caught up with them and disrupt the rise of powerful new enemies. In special
Wait, that was
collaboration with
that was
Lucasfilm Games,
Drifter.
we took inspiration from Star Wars to craft a one-of-a-kind Destiny story. Renegades redefines what an expansion can be. It brings the grit, guns, and glory of a space western to Destiny.
Dude, that blaster
Renegades
is
isn't just about
fire.
power. It's about what you're willing to risk.
No, that was Stasis. He was encased in Stasis.
The folks at Lucasfilm were such great collaborators. They understood that in order for this to work, we had to find where the Venn diagram of our two stories meet. Themes of underdogs rising up against something much larger than themselves. Themes of hope. Those little places in that Venn diagram
Dude,
were the ones that really helped us find the story that we want to tell together.
If you look at Star Wars and you look at Destiny, you can kind of see that
Oh
parallel
my
that
God.
exists.
Dude.
So for instance, our Dredgen, they're our Sith.
Pretty Sithy.
Yeah, and then you've got the Barrett Imperium, and they are very, very Empire.
So wait, we're getting a new faction Cabal?
I think of the Praxic Order. There are Jedi in this release, and they are very focused on order and law and understanding that there is a binary in our universe of good and evil. We get to poke at that a little bit in a way that suits our story and our world, while still feeling very much like the inspiration that we're calling from. Edge of Fate leaves us with a really big pass forward.
Won't lie, that's still one of my favorite
know of this
cinematics right
prophecy
now.
that tells us that we need to bind the Nine or we face extinction. And Drifter was there on Kepler. He saw all of this.
Not running from this one.
Drifter is convinced that there's a connection between the Nine and the rise of this new faction, the Barrent Imperium. He sees them rising at an unnaturally fast rate and is insistent that there's a problem. But the Vanguard isn't listening. They're insisting that.
Why am I not surprised with that one?
The cool thing about this criminal underworld is you and Drifter and your crew, you come in at the bottom, and at the top, there's the Barrent Imperium.
Juventus, this is going to be the paid DLC coming in December.
Criminal syndicates in between, earning your power, building up the notoriety, getting the gear that you need to take down that powerful Imperium at the top.
There's a weapon that the Barrent Imperium have made, and we need to be the ones to destroy it. And we're not going to be able to do that unless we work with exactly the kind of people that we normally fight. So we're going to head out to the lawless frontier, and one job at a time, we're going to take down the Imperium.
Dude, this is
The lawless
looking...
frontier is filled with big, chaotic, cooperative activity.
Holy shit!
You're gonna choose the job, you're gonna choose which renegade abilities you're gonna take into those jobs, and then you're gonna drop into the action with your team, smash up those objectives, get as many riches and treasures as you can, and then get out. Or die trying.
To do that, you're gonna go to the Lost Frontier Hollow map. You'll see Mars, Europa, and Venus with swamps that are very reminiscent of Data.
Yeah, there's that X-Wing.
In Europa, right?
Yeah.
For fans of both Star Wars and Destiny, like Mars.
Han Solo gun, yeah.
Very reminiscent of Sarlacc pits, and you don't want to fall into them, you'll die.
These are Destiny locations. It's just we're taking inspiration from some of these iconic places in Star Wars.
Let's say we go to Mars,
dude,
and you're gonna pick a bounty hunting job for the Fallen to take out some Cabal. And then you either matchmake with people online, you take your crew with you, you can play solo. Every time you drop in, you might be in a different location on the map. Your objectives are gonna be a little different each time, and it also might be a different time of day, so there's a lot of variety and richness within these activities.
Okay, that's freaking nice.
Along the way, we're gonna throw a bunch of curveballs. You might run into a missile tower that's trying to take you out from halfway across the map. And you have to like divert and take it out, and you get some extra credits out of that. Defeat your boss, get to the exfil with whatever time you got left. Call your ship in. All hell drops in on your head from the Cabal.
Dude,
your ship flies in.
That's an interesting pulse rifle. Oh, so it's actually, you gotta jump in the friggin' craft. I like that.
Renegades. You're gonna be unlocking and earning a bunch of different renegade abilities.
We got things like airstrikes, Cabal drop pods, vehicles like Cabal walkers, interceptors, swoop bikes, turrets.
No shot.
7 upgrades. There's a ton of stuff that you can bring in and just change how things play.
Oh, we're becoming the Drifter now.
It's like a whole tree of options across support, defensive, and offensive abilities, so the player's going to have a lot to play with here.
The Lost Frontier
The
isn't
sound!
just about raw power. It's about influence. Shady backroom deals, working for these powerful syndicates and against them at different times. And all of this takes place at the heart of the criminal underworld in Tharsis Outpost.
Yes! Yes, that was let down.
The Vanguard have been preoccupied. They've been off saving the world, and they haven't been looking at Tharsis. It's changed a lot since the last time we were there.
It's now this thriving black market, this criminal underworld. Tharsis Junction became Tharsis Outpost. If you have an unsavory job that you have done, you can find it at Tharsis Outpost.
Tharsis Outpost feels appropriate for both Star Wars and for us. When we looked at Mos Eisley as inspiration, we knew that we could play in that playground in a really fun way. From the Elixni floating around to one Elixni with all 4 of his Elixni arms shaking up drinks. We took that inspiration and we found.
Hey, what's up, JoJo?
Criminal syndicates have moved in.
Well, JoJo, Renegades is all inspired from Star Wars, and on top of that, this was a collaboration with Lucasfilms.
We're going to be dealing with the Pikers are Elixni. They're kind of like an anarchist biker gang. Unlike other Elixni, they're atheists. They don't worship machines. They follow relics. We've also got the Totality Division, a subset of the Barrent Imperium. They're run by Scions, and their enforcer Rao is going to be the leader of this group. And we've got Tharsis Reformation. They are a breakaway group from Maya's Vex. They're starting to think for themselves and figure out what it means to be an individual.
They're starting to do crime.
Okay.
They're, you know,
That right there, those
Crime and
three
wearing
factions.
clothes are what all individuals do. We
That's
need
a
to have
lot.
new
Bro,
people
I just got
fight in
deluxe, so I'll be in this. Oh, same here.
And this was our opportunity.
Oh, yeah, they are. But the cool thing about that is that
But the heart
this.
of the Renegade fantasy is not just
I'm going to touch on
surviving
that
the lawless
when
frontier.
there's a
It's
moment.
garnering influence and building your power.
The fact
so
that they're
you can
actually
bend it
bringing
to your
more
will.
like creativity to the factions
endgame,
instead of
you get the best
your
weapons,
comment,
the
oh,
best
Cabal
armor,
bad, they
the
want to
exclusive
dominate,
cosmetics.
oh,
You're
Vex
gonna
want
need
to
to work
eradicate
with the
organics
syndicates
type
to
shit.
increase your
They're
notoriety
actually
by
bringing
completing
life to some of
jobs
these factions.
successfully
I'm fucking
alone
here
with the
for
crew,
it.
And then doing so, you'll unlock our highest risk, highest reward
Dude,
jobs.
it
And at the
looks
same
like
time, you're gonna have the ability
they're
to do
cooking with
special jobs
Renegades,
that'll take you
but
off planet to the dungeon.
there's that they need to get more details.
And you'll also unlock Invasion.
That's right. Invasion is back. But this doesn't work like Gambit. It's opt-in. The invader has some initiative when invasion begins. This is more strategic.
You scan the battlefield, and you're like, okay, is this the right time for me to take the shot? And what's the right tool for me to do it? Do I use an airstrike or a vehicle? Do I use a Cabal Walker?
Wait.
Just watch out for that double cross.
Yeah.
Excuse you?
Marks the Guardian's descent into a criminal underworld.
Yeah, that is the Drifter Ding.
A world of shadows and syndicates, where your light and your choices will cut a path
Yeah,
forward.
Joe, it does feel like that.
You'll fight dirty, break the rules, and build a hardened crew that can take on any job, standing up to the most ruthless syndicates in the system.
I'm just gonna say the fact that freaking Lucasfilm collaborated with Bungie on
There's
this.
still a glimmer of hope. Guardians will have to find their own version of balance between loyalty and survival, between power and purpose. Because there's more at play than credits and contracts. Forces are on the move, ones that see you not just as a player, but as a piece on the board. To change the future, you'll have to become the one thing they never saw coming.
Bog, dude, I'm questioning if this is. No, they haven't talked about the.
Start the engines. Take off as soon as you can.
Okay, there's multiple colors. There's multiple freaking colors. All right.
All right, welcome back. Sorry, I love Vidocs. I gotta stop looking at chat. Let's get the show on the road. So pre-orders for the new Renegade Standard Edition start right now. And we actually have some added bonuses. Even if you pre-ordered the, what do we got? Year Prophecy Edition, we have 2 additional cosmetics that are going live today with the patch.
Wait, what?
The Starside Introduction Emblem and a new exotic ship, which we call the Renegade Leader. You're going to see it on the screen right now, and
yes!
ask a silly question. What are we looking at?
I mean, I think we're kind of looking at something that looks like an X-Wing here a little bit, maybe a little red leader action. So, I mean, this is one of our homages, right? That's the team had a lot of fun with. So we wanted to build like an iconic ship, Dylan. That
I'm
kicked
so
off
glad I got Your Prophecy.
And what's cool about this is you're actually going to see your ship, whatever ship you have equipped, that's going to be flying by when you deploy your Renegade abilities in the Lawless Frontier. And also, you're going to be using your ship to go between different areas within the Plaguelands here in the Reclaim activity that's launching today as well.
Awesome.
Oh my
so
God.
With pre-orders talked about, let's dive into the Vidoc. Robbie, where are we starting?
Yeah, so I think it's like probably best. There's so
Or
much.
Wolf
To do a really
Rose.
kind of quick overview of what we looked at here. So Renegades thrust you and your crew into the heart of a lawless frontier that's emerged around Mars, Europa, and Venus, all new locations across those places. And you're trying to keep up with Drifter, ultimately, who's chasing startling visions of calamity and rumors of a powerful new Cabal faction that's rising, the Baron Imperium. That Imperium's installed themselves as top dog in the criminal underworld, and Drifter's convinced that the N9 is involved with the Imperium's rapid growth. It wouldn't be the first time the Nine have meddled in the background and done some crazy things with Cabal-related enemies. Anyway, so to deal with the Imperium, you're going to take on the role of a renegade. As a Guardian, you're going to smuggle, sabotage, bounty hunt your way to the top of the lawless frontier, and that means you're going to work with
Wolfro's just like so not happy with Star Wars.
Your influence within Tharsis, but ultimately, like, this is for the right reason. You're being the bad guy to do the right thing because you can't really ignore this prophecy of extinction that showed up at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you mentioned Drifter. We have a pretty stellar cast here, and there was a new character that we showed off in there.
Yeah, we showed one of our new characters. That's a new member of your crew who comes from the Praxic Order, actually. And they've been tasked with tracking down reports of dredging activity across the lawless frontier. And they've also been tasked with keeping an eye on Drifter because he's been seeing and saying some crazy stuff lately. And this is all being done in defiance of the Vanguard, so this Praxic Order is kind of here to kind of be oversight of everything that's happening. We've got a bunch of new villains, too, alongside the criminal syndicates.
Is that or is that not Drifter in there?
I don't want to spoil too much right now. We're going to have more on the story closer to launch.
All right, so we've got smuggling, sabotaging, bounty hunting, wearing clothes, doing crime.
It's important.
Let's talk about the gameplay.
Yeah, so being an individual means crimes and clothes. We've established that going forward. So one thing to make sure is clear here, in the campaign that has a bunch of story missions, it's going to introduce you to also the jobs that you'll be taking in addition.
So it looks like we're not going to get the close world Metroidvania style. We're going to get the more open world
syndicates
stuff.
Are not going to trust you out the gate. You kind of have to garner influence with them before they're going to help you out.
Trip, thank you for the follow.
Imperium. And so then at the conclusion of the campaign, once that Imperium's chokehold is kind of loosened on Tharsis and the lawless frontier, you unintentionally kick off a turf war between the three syndicates because now they're all vying for power because you've kind of toppled the top dog of their power hierarchy.
Yeah. And so let's talk about this. In December, the lawless frontier is coming. It's not just like a concept. It's an activity.
Yeah, and I know we're showing something on screen right now that is when you go through this daily ritual of dealing with contested territory, you'll be able to target the syndicate you want to kind of take down in that moment.
Really?
But ultimately, the Lawless Frontier is a new activity where you'll be carrying out a variety of those missions, those smuggle, bounty hunt, sabotaging. I think you kind of can tell what they're going to be all about just with the name of them. And this is you just partnering with and against the syndicates. And so it's fast, it's tactical, and it's going to throw a ton of enemies and a variety of objectives within each of these jobs at your fire team in new locations across Mars.
So these activities are probably going to need a lot of good, heavy ad clear
chaotic co-op
builds.
action within the Lawless Frontier. Yeah.
Cool. And then when you're working with the syndicates, I expect to be paid when I take on a job.
Sure.
What are they going to be giving us?
Every criminal does.
Yeah,
Why so cities? Thank you for the follow.
So, one thing just to talk about at the top because Tom and I are really excited about this. The creative lead on Renegades. The Cabal have been dropping pods on your head for 8 years now, something like that.
Yeah.
And so with one of our Renegade abilities, we kind of get to turn the table on the Cabal and drop one on them. It also supplies you some ammo and stuff too, some nice convenience there. But the campaign ultimately introduce you to a number of these abilities. In the turf war, you'll actually choose which syndicates you want to pledge to in order to unlock more abilities and a bigger suite of upgrades. Also, depending on which syndicate you're pledged to, there will be other bonuses and weekly shipments coming into Tharsis as well that you get to take advantage of. And so one thing I want to note too is that all of these
you have no idea,
Wolf. We're talking about in the Vidoc.
Shoot, I'm going to talk about that in here in a second.
Additive to your subclass abilities. The Renegade abilities do not override any of your other Guardian abilities. So like your super, your melee, your grenade, that's all at your disposal on top of these Renegade abilities. We really wanted to lean into the idea of this fantasy of you working with your crew and the various roles you could play within the Lost Frontiers of all these different type of jobs that you're going to be doing.
Awesome. And then I have to give a shout out to James Sy. He's frankly one of the biggest Star Wars nerds I've ever met in my life. But he was talking about the blaster and that feel the first time he shot it. Let's talk about him.
Yeah, I love that blaster, and because my personal joke is it's like Forerunner at home. It's kind of like a legendary version of that exotic, and it just feels fucking incredible. Oh, sorry, it feels incredible. Excuse me for tripping home. So we're gonna have a weapons deep dive close to launch. I know I keep saying that. There's a ton of the Vidoc. There's even more to be talking about in the next few months. But what we can say about blasters right now is they're new, powerful weapons in your arsenal. And they actually draw ammo straight from your reserve.
Hey, phrasing!
And so the mechanic of this is basically heating up the gun and then venting it out.
Your
So
boy
no
straight up
reload,
cursed.
technically. But since you have to like charge up heat and you have to think about overheating, it's a whole mechanic and has its own special reload associated with it. And so it's going to be all about finding like the rhythm of pace and battle between building up heat and venting it. It's really fun to play around with, and the team is really honing in on something like that feels really special and new. It's cool.
All right.
It's cool, yeah.
So we're not going to go too deep on campaign because spoilers. We want to let players discover that.
Yeah.
We've talked about the Lawless Frontier, but one of the components is invasions.
Oh yeah. So you're gonna
what is
unlock
that?
Invasion as part of that turf war we've been talking about, and the syndicates are like reaching out to you, and they're giving you contracts to play Hitman against other Guardian crews. So it's 1 versus 3. It's you versus a Guardian crew on the Lawless Frontier. And like we said in the Vidoc, Invasion is 100% opt-in for both the invaders and the defending fire team crew. But don't worry, because all of the difficulty modes, there's always an option that is available to you if you don't want to engage in invasion. Yeah, we want to make sure that, because like even though some people love that PvE chocolate mixing with that PvP peanut butter, we wanted to make sure that if you didn't want to do that, there's always an option for you to do something.
That's good.
And then
that's good. I freaking love that.
There's more rewards or incentive, right?
I mean, yeah, you're like asking, you're basically saying, hey, fire team.
They're
I'm
talking
open
about
to having
Renegades,
another guy
no
come
mish.
wreck shop, and that's my day, right? And so
Renegades
you're taking
drops
higher
in
risk,
December.
So therefore, there is a chance of higher reward depending on how you handle that, right?
Cool. Yeah, I mean, so that covers gameplay effectively. We do have a dungeon. We showed a little tease, but again, no spoilers. We'll let you discover that on day one. Let's talk about the last thing that players may have seen, or the first thing, honestly. We saw chat blown up. Let's talk about the saber.
Right. So, yeah, this is Destiny's homage, right? It's our love letter to the Star Wars lightsaber. And we're calling it the Praxic Blade. Again, we'll be sharing a whole lot more closer to launch. I'm really sorry. I feel like a parrot right now just saying the same thing. But what I can say is that the Praxic Blade is going to be highly customizable in both gameplay and visuals. And so there's going to be a ton of parts and components that you'll be chasing and discovering throughout the Lawless Frontier, within the turf war, within the dungeon itself. And this is all about kind of making the Praxic Blade your own. And you saw it in the Vidoc, but the blade really does feel truly exotic right now. You can do things with it that no other weapon can do in Destiny, and I really can't wait.
It's going to be special ammo, definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for Renegades. We have 2 more big subjects to go through today, so thanks for running us through that.
Of course.
Our next section is going to be all about quality of life. It's going to be about a lot of the feedback that we've been seeing in the live game since.
Okay, Bungie, this is your chance.
We'll be
this is
talking
your
about
chance.
Action Iron with another cast of devs to talk about a bunch of cool stuff. So, ultimately, we have quite a lot coming over the next few months. We're going to be talking about a bunch of high-level goals, objectives, some of our philosophies.
DJ Red, thank you for the follow.
Today, but we will have a roadmap in the next few weeks outlining our road to Renegades, which I've been calling it selfishly. So we'll figure out a fancier name for it at some point, but let's dive in. I think the first thing that I want to talk about here, let me get this up. I mean, ultimately, this feels like we're having a mini community summit.
Outside New Orleans, Darth.
Let's talk about rewards. Let's talk about the portal. Let's talk about power. Let's talk about the climb and the feedback that we've been seeing.
Yeah, so to do a little bit more table setting and framing here. Like we said at the top.
All right, so this is going to be
taking a lot of this feedback
in Renegades.
Right? We've been listening very intently. We've been looking at our data, and
rewards
Dylan, we know
for our team, year prophecy rate, dungeon reward improvements,
so
bonus engram rework.
Going to be about. We're going to talk about a ton of stuff. Some of it
bonus engram rework,
Iron, a lot more in Renegades, and then even more in the future. And so coming back to the power climb, we want it to be faster, we want it to have improved rewards, and we really want it to highlight new and aspirational activities when Renegades launches. And so that means looking at the Renegades campaign and the Renegades jobs in the Lawless Frontier and the activities you do there, and making sure that they both feel like great sources of seasonal power. We know with the Edge of Fate, after you completed the campaign on Kepler, that there was a bunch of cool stuff to do and some rewards to get, but it didn't fit into the seasonal power game, right? It didn't feel like it was a viable
No, it
path.
didn't.
And so these big chaotic fire team based jobs that we've built and all that variety we're pouring into it is going to be this engine to climb seasonal power. If you're just loving that activity, you're going to be able to spend an enormous amount of time there.
Yeah, and you touched on aspirational content. So when we look at it, you're doing the power climb, but you're looking at the end game, and our raids and dungeons are a part of that.
Yes, they are. So we are making sure here, there's 2 approaches we're taking and a bunch of work that's going to come out of it. So our focus initially here is going to be on the new raid and dungeon content in this conversation. So that is Desert Perpetual, the Epic Raid here in a couple weeks, and then the dungeon releasing with Ash and Iron. And so we want to make sure that those are more dependable sources of power.
He said that.
Weekly challenges, some of which that are going to happen in Ash and Iron. But then also we're going to be looking at the power drops that come when you're completing encounters and looking to see if we can adjust those and juice them up a little bit.
Oh,
the other
you should
big area,
definitely juice them.
What we're talking about when we say aspiration is like in-game. You're doing an in-game thing. I should be rewarded for that. So with the launch of the Epic Raid for the Desert Perpetual and Epic Raid and then the dungeon afterwards, we're going to make all drops, the base drops you earn in that content, tier 3. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yes!
it's ultimately attesting to like players got through some of the power grind, they went into the raid and they were seeing tier 1, tier 2 drops, and that didn't feel like endgame loot.
It
So
did not.
we're making this tier 3 is the baseline, but then you can build up to tier 4 and tier 5 as you add more challenge, add more difficulty.
Yeah, and
So-
I think we hit on it, but I just want to make sure. We talked about improved rewards, right?
They
around some of the
fucking
newer
listen!
content that is coming. This effort, though, is also being applied across the portal itself. And so, Dylan, I know you and I have talked about it a bunch. You know, we talked about solo ops, right? You mentioned Caldera.
Yeah, let's talk about variety in the portal and more reasons or more ways to
Okay.
play.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
And part of that, right? Part of that theory right here is just like that thinking is we just have to improve the rewards, right? And so a lot of what we're doing is going to be about bringing the baseline of the reward experience with Renegades up to that, closer to that solo ops experience, and also really incentivize playing and fire teams more.
Why are
because,
they waiting
hey,
till
we know that this is feeling
Renegades?
lonely right now if all you do is spend time in the mines, right? And so
Yeah.
we want to do a much. We know we need to do a much better job at that. The other
just
go ahead,
just to go into that example, like we're talking about Caldera, it's a solo op activity, and players feel it is the most viable path to power. So a social game like Destiny, it is a problem where you feel like you should be playing alone for all the reasons. It's like, hey, sorry friends, you want to play Raid, you want to play something else? Sorry, I'm going to go into Caldera and play alone.
Yeah.
We want to address that. We want to make sure Destiny is social, fun to play with friends, while still maintaining, hey, as a solo player, you can absolutely hop in, but we aren't going to make you feel worse. So example there too, we said, hey, we're going to tone down Caldera and solo ops. We're actually reverting that. We had announced it, we're taking that back, and as you said, that's the new benchmark. We're going to raise things up to feel like Caldera and feel rewarding like solo ops.
Yeah, and we've already talked about that. We're going to do some of that in Ash and Iron. One of the other things we're looking at doing in Ash and Iron right now is taking our bonus engrams and having them just more consistently award power deeper into the climb and adjusting that. We're also, this is a good segue, I think, kind of into our next area where we can talk more about reworks we're going to be doing within the game and some changes we're making. So the other thing we're going to be doing with bonus engrams when Renegades launches is they're going to feed more into a weekly ritual. You know, a thing that you know when it launches, there's a bunch of stuff to do that's going to accelerate you into power climb.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the effectively weekly reset, curated activities from Bungie. So you have a moment each week of, let's hop into raid night, let's do Grandmasters, things like that.
The fact that so much of this is going to be coming in Renegades does not feel good right now.
Raid night, right? We got to get that feeling of hey, I log in on Tuesday and there's just like a bunch of stuff to look forward to. And so a few ways we're going to do that is one with a new system that we're calling Vanguard orders that comes out in Renegades. So Vanguard orders are actually this like new objective system where you're going to be, and we should have a mock-up on screen right now. It looks like our monitor isn't.
I'm right there with you, Lost and Mitch.
It's in the studio, so I'm just going to assume it's working. And so within these Vanguard orders, you're going to have all these different objectives that you can do, and you don't have to pick these up like bounties, right? These are things that will just be automatically granted to you when you log into the portal. And then what's really cool about these is that they pull some of that like Destiny 1 bounty vibe, where as you complete an order on the left-hand side of the screen of this mock-up here, you will actually roll. You can roll on higher tier orders, like a legendary order that will give you consistent rewards, or an exotic tier order that can give you exotic tier rewards. And so this is all about just creating a bunch more like little moments of variety within the portal and these different little objectives that you can do. We already touched on
I agree,
bonus
Anthony.
engrams a little bit.
I agree.
And how we're going to be reworking those even more with Renegades launches to feed into that idea of like, look at all these things in the portal. I know if I go and gobble up all the green.
Well, that's a mock-up, so
accelerate
that's the
my
only
power climb,
defense
that's
I can
much
give
easier
it,
and clearer
Wolf
for players
Rose.
to understand. But the other place that we've been getting a ton of feedback on, and we're going to be making changes to, is the weekly conquests, basically. So right now, we have the concept of the conquest as a milestone on your seasonal power journey, and it gives you like a massive, like big dump of
The fact that
rewards.
they thought that
We are going to be
Conquest
making those,
was
we're
going to
be
be
making
done
it
like that
repeatable,
is
but
was
then
going to be
there's gonna
acceptable
a
as
weekly
garbage.
reward for them. There's no way for us, honestly, to balance the crazy amount of rewards you get from the milestones, but we're going to make sure we incentivize them and create a weekly version as
and we actually have a change going live today to make conquests repeatable, but the rewards component is what we need to focus on for a future update.
Yeah, and you know, Dylan, you and I were talking about this a bunch over the last couple of days. Is like we want to get back to that, like we want to get Conquest closer to that GM feeling, to that Grandmaster Nightfall feeling of the past, and that's kind of like our little North Star for that.
Yep.
The other big thing too that we've been listening to feedback on, and we're moving really, really fast on right now, is getting weekly legacy raid and dungeon content as like a tunnel from the portal to that. So to set expectations here with Renegades, this is going to first come in the form of, hey, reasons to play this content, to do like weekly challenges and earn powerful rewards from them, right?
Okay.
Again, we want this weekly reset. We want you to clearly know when you log in, here's a bunch of stuff to look forward to play with your friends and others. The reason I have to set expectations, though, is like we hear the feedback about wanting the gear reprised from raids and dungeons. Dylan, if we could just like flip a switch and make that happen, I think we'd be more than happy to do that. But it's just not that simple. There's a bunch of work that goes into actually creating the new gear and the gear tiers, and so we are going to be looking to make the reward experience of Legacy and Raid dungeons better as time goes on. Our first focus is making it fit into that weekly reset and into that power climb.
Yeah. And we have our first step today with dungeon layers. In the portal, there are going to be three encounters coming from Legacy dungeon content. You can get power bumps from those. You can get portal gear from those, but we hear the feedback on general rewards.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna be looking to add more to this, like what this weekly ritual feels like. These are the areas we are targeting initially here for Renegades.
All right. So let's move on to our final two.
I'm trying not to be
subjects
negative about
really are
this,
centered
but
around
this
sandbox.
isn't.
First of which is going to be build crafting, and then the second is around just our general approach to balance.
This just isn't feeling good.
So we have another list here of. Honestly, we've been getting.
Let's see if they freaking listen.
We've been getting feedback around like legendary weapon tiering. What are we changing?
Yeah, so this whole space is about expanding build crafting and gear chase. And we hear y'all. Like, we hear that featured gear is far too restrictive for how you're playing the game right now. And so one of the big changes we're making is all exotic weapons and armor are going to be featured gear starting in Renegades. So the class items, your prismatic builds, they're back on the table. You don't have to worry about it anymore. You're not having to think about what exotic you put on. It's all about what build you want to craft, right? The other thing that we've been listening to a lot when it comes to the gear chase is like, hey, you might earn a tier 1, 2, or 3 weapon, a roll of a weapon you really love, your personal god roll, or the community saying this is a god roll. And you're looking at that and you're like, man, it's cool, but like it's not that top tier.
All right, chat.
Right?
We're dead for 3 months.
In Shadow and Order, which
enjoy
is
your other
coming
games
after Renegades, you're going to be able to enhance the tier of your legendary weapons all the way from tier 1 to tier 5 with a new currency and a new feature that we're building for those.
Wait,
again,
what?
It's all about expanding that gear chase.
Yeah. And before we get ahead of ourselves, like as a player, and I'm guessing in chat, people are saying, "Oh, so I should be keeping my tier 1."
Oh, I agree. It's a step in the right direction. The fact that it's going to take that long
with Renegades, we are
is
going to give you more vault space. That is the thing we're going to be doing. And also, the team is working on a pretty big update to improve the sorting and filtering of just using your vault in game as well.
Oh, I agree, Wolf.
Yeah, we'll have
I agree.
More details in the coming weeks and months when we get this roadmap together. But our final note in this section before we go to balance is the portal scoring.
Yes, yeah. So right now with the featured and new gear, there is just an intrinsic bonus that you get for wearing that gear. I guess it's extrinsic because we're asking you to put it on. But anyway, if you have
I
it
agree,
on,
Anthony. I
you get a
agree.
score bonus in the portal, which means you're not only thinking about like activity customization, your build, but also now you have to think about the score too, and like, should I wear this or not in order to chase the high score? And for the vast majority of the experiences in the portal, we think that's just too much complexity right now. And so we are sunsetting that idea. And so again, this is going to drastically open up the space for you to basically use whatever you want in the vast majority of things you play inside of the portal when you're chasing gear.
But let me guess, it's coming in Renegades.
And a North Star for this, when y'all were talking about it, we've had a ton of conversations with the dev team, is like, there's a lot of feeling of I'm playing Destiny the wrong way, and this was contributing to it because I had to think, oh, if I put this armor on, it's wrong.
Fiji Gears is a
This
dog
helps
water
that out and
mechanic,
gets
but
you
why
into the
wait until
fun
Renegades either
Yes.
get rid of it
And then,
entirely or
we
just give it to us now?
believe
I
and
agree.
See a space for ways to highlight gear and exotics and things like that. Stuff we've done with the artifact for a while now. We want it to be part of the game because I think pushing people off of the super hot stuff is really.
I despise new
sometimes to
gear
just have more
score
fun and
bonus. Oh,
experiment with
I'm
things.
right there
But
with
we
you.
know that we need to find ways to make this feel like a bonus. and more
EXO,
exciting
here's the
to do
thing.
versus what we
It's
currently
been
have when
worse
people are making
since
changes.
Tyson Green took.
Yeah, and then our last section here for quality of life. Let's talk about sandbox balance. Y'all have been really.
It's
taking a
been
lot of
worse since
feedback,
Tyson Green took
to
game
heart
director.
Since the announce of quite a few nerfs and some balancing, and you have some new approaches to philosophy when it comes to this.
Yeah, so at the top here, one of the things we're doing is we're upgrading our internal process for kind of how we evaluate our buff and nerf policies, and also the timing of which when we go out and do those.
Oh,
And
you
so
were
a big
right. You
part
were
of that
right,
here,
Wolf Rose.
Through Renegades.
You got some
launch is
sources
going to
you
be,
need to share with me.
Non-critical balance changes are on pause right now, and so this is partially in reaction to obviously some of the sentiment around some of the changes we're making, but it's giving time for us to make sure that when we do start to do more balance updates a little more frequently again, we communicate honestly. We just need to do a better job about communicating about why we're changing something and some of the intent behind it. And the reason I speak about this, yeah, because you asked me this a couple times in our rehearsal, Dylan. It's like, what does non-critical mean? Sorry, I'm taking your words here.
No.
Okay.
I'm just on a roll. We really want to make sure that we're still making balance changes, or if we have to ban something for that epic raid race or the dungeon race that's going to happen with Renegades, right? The quality of that experience is incredibly.
By the way, chat, as
important
much
to
as I
us,
dog
and
on
we
freaking
know
Tyson
incredibly
Green, can we
important to
give
y'all.
props
And
to
so,
Robbie Stevens that he's
again,
been
we're gonna pause
doing
on
more
nerfs and balance changes for
FaceTime
now, but if we really
than
need to change
Tyson
something that's
has?
critical for those
Promote
upcoming
this guy,
events,
make him fucking game director,
we'll
for
make
fuck's
changes,
sakes.
And ultimately, it's like there's some things where you watch somebody go on a Titan and kill a raid
Hey, what's
boss
up,
in
Bray?
2 punches. Like, that's critical. That needs to be toned down or balanced around. But other things, like we actually have a list here of we announced some tuning changes or nerfs that we're going to be reverting. Last week we were talking about Grand Overture and Queenbreaker.
Yeah.
We're reverting the changes there.
Yes.
And then we had some reworks to exotics like Stronghold, Chromatic Fire. We're going to be reverting those. And then as a part of this new initiative where we're looking at our philosophy, reevaluating how we do these things, we'll be looking how we approach it and how we communicate it.
Yes.
So
exactly.
cool. And then final note to end on a high, honestly, like we've been talking about nerfs and all that. Let's talk about buffs.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we've got some buffs. We've been working with the gameplay team around supers and subclasses that are going to be coming. Some with Ash and Iron here in October, but then also in December with Renegades. And I think you've been talking with them a little more closely actually in the last 24 hours.
Yeah. Big thank you to Ben Womack, Eric Smith, Sandbox team. A couple notes, like we saw a thread where folks were saying, hey, the original 3 supers that launched with Destiny 11 years ago, happy birthday.
Yeah.
They feel a bit undertuned. And I saw a note where it's like Ward of Dawn, Titan Bubble. That needs to be brought up. Golden Gun. I know Warlocks are getting some abilities changes too.
Turrets changes.
Okay.
And grenades and other things too outside of turrets. So we will have a full list over the coming weeks, and honestly, it may build. We need to get our roadmap together so we know exactly which hot fixes, updates they're going to be rolling out in. But yeah, we'll be as transparent as possible with you. So to really end it and get into the awesome Ash and Iron content, thank you again to everybody that's been giving us feedback. Thank you to everybody that's been playing.
I swear at this point, every Twitch stream just feels like half apologies as they continue to ignore us.
And now we're getting through the planning stages and we're executing on a bunch of changes over the next few updates and beyond Renegades. So, Robbie, thank you for joining us. As we're going into Ash and Iron, we got to get the couch full of new devs. So, yeah. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. And yeah, we're listening and we're going to keep responding to the feedback. So thank you all so much. And yeah, let's get some more people on the couch. I've been talking too much.
Yeah, you brought up Vidoc. We have a trailer for
I'm gonna stand on it. Freaking Robbie needs to be okay. This is the trailer that we saw the other day. I'm gonna freaking lower this down a bit. Okay, I'm gonna stand on business. Freaking Robbie Stevens, he's been doing more FaceTime than freaking Tyson Green. Promote the guy already. Promote the guy to game director, because clearly he's fucking willing to talk to the damn community and is willing to engage and actually acknowledge the feedback. Number 1. Number 2, it's the fact that Bungie didn't want to communicate, and I say Bungie, and I'm referring to Tyson Green, did not want to communicate any of the things that he was looking to change in Destiny 2 jumping with Edge of Fate. And I think that if Bungie would have communicated a lot more, been more open, they would have heard from right off the rip that freaking this is the stuff that we did not want. And because of that, they sat on their asses, and now they're seeing the worst freaking player count that they probably have ever seen. And so, yeah, where's Tyson Green? Nowhere. Nowhere. But what does he do? He puts his second in command on the freaking chair and lets him address everything. That to me is freaking mind-boggling. Once again, we've got another person in Bungie leadership who clearly failed upward. And that's a reference to Pete Parsons and not a freaking Tyson Green.
All right, welcome back.
No, Ash and Iron free. Renegades is paid.
Is going live. Let's talk about Ash and Iron. We have a bunch of really cool stuff coming with a new activity called Reclaim.
I agree, Anthony. I agree.
Activity that's going to be giving you some insight.
Remember, Joe was a part of these live streams.
We
Oh,
also have
absolutely.
an exotic mission coming in October. Team's finishing up on that. And we're super excited.
Anthony,
for the
I'm going to say this.
associated
Tyson,
with
I
that.
agree with that
And, we
statement
actually have some
in
updates
regard to
to
Tyson
recurring
Green.
events like
Everybody
Iron
else does actually give a shit.
Arms Week, Festival of the Lost, and more. So without further ado, hello, welcome to our couch, wonderful developers. Some of you have been here before, but Noah, first on the couch, this is your first time.
Yeah, no, I'm super happy to be here.
Yeah, welcome. For folks to learn who you are.
Yeah.
Who are you? What do you do? What's your title?
Yeah, my name's Noah Pearson. I'm an associate sandbox designer here at Bungie. While my title is like officially working on the armor team, I do work in exotic armor from time to time, but you find me more commonly working on the seasonal artifacts, so like the ones.
Okay, this is the dude that I need to freaking go
those are mine.
bug
But
about
also
getting
branched
some
out,
stuff
I've gotten to do
buffed.
a pretty cool exotic weapon in this release as well.
Awesome.
God damn
Next
it,
on the
Wolf.
couch, Jerome, welcome back.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
Looks like
Really
Lunar.
quick, let's get a summary. Who are you? What do you do?
I'm Jerome. I'm a narrative lead, so we do the lore, we do the dialogue, we do the cutscenes, and we plan the overall story for Destiny 2.
So is Destiny going
Last but
pay to
not
win?
least,
No.
Clayton, welcome
Hey.
back. I believe you were last here for Revenant.
Now,
and,
is
Age of
it
the
pay
Light.
to play the content?
Yeah. For
Yeah,
folks that
for
may
some
missed out
stuff.
on those streams. Who are you? What do you do?
Yeah, so I'm a design lead here for the activities and events area on Destiny 2, and in the past I've been activity designer or feature owner for.
You know who he looks like? He looks like Bill Barr's character from Mandalorian.
So it's been really fun.
All right,
getting
so
my
this
hands
is that
dirty, different
reclaim
activities,
activity.
bringing those experiences to the players.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So as we're diving through some stuff, we already have gameplay rolling. This is our new activity, Reclaim. But Jerome, let's talk about narrative. How are things kicking off?
For sure. Well,
wait, is that
Maya Sundaresh, the conductor, has somewhat overextended herself on Kepler during the events of Edge of Fate, and she foolishly tried to meddle in the
that's not
affairs of
Mint,
the Nine.
Mint retrograde.
And,
Oh, that's the
essentially
freaking.
assassinated 3 of the 9, which is the 3 of Earth.
3 being a single entity, right?
Yes, exactly. And that's going to have huge knock-on effects for the people of Earth. In
Oh, I
physics
agree,
and chemistry, and
Mustache.
we'll
They
hear a lot
need
more
in-house
about that
QA
in
again.
Renegades. But for now, Maya is somewhat depleted, right? And she is starting to lose control over her collective. She's starting to bleed individuals at the edges of her collective, and those are the pants-wearing, poker-playing Vex that you saw.
crime, yeah.
Exactly. And so she needs to reassert control over her collective. And in order to
I
do
see
that,
Maida,
she needs
yeah.
a signal boost
Maida's getting
to,
refreshed.
maximize the power of her waning echo of command. And the best tool for that job is, of course, Golden Age tech. And the best place to find Golden Age tech is in the Vanguard Vault, which is why Ash and Iron begins with a defense of the tower from a smash and grab by Maya's forces, both Vex and conscripted Cabal, which you'll learn more about during the season. But that's
They're going a roguelike system
a
again.
start, but not sufficient for her plans. So she will need a fully functional warset network to really expand her reach. And there's only one place where you can find that, and that's in the Plaguelands, which is where most of Ash and Iron takes place.
Awesome. So speaking of the smash and grab, when players first sign in for Ash and Iron,
Doesn't matter if they have QA or not, they aren't going to listen to them anyways.
It's not auto-launched. You're going to select it, jump in when you're ready. But after that, you'll hop into Reclaim. Those are going to be some new activities. And Clayton, let's get a quick overview. What are players seeing on the screen?
Well,
so returning
and
is our new
Hazy,
three-player
I'm gonna say,
activity.
I have a
Comes with three
response to
different
that.
variants. It has players like
Anthony,
Jerome was
thank you
saying,
for the
going into
follow.
Plague Lands, stopping Maya's forces from taking Golden Age tech and reclaiming those areas, those territories. And so you notice that there's a lack of Fallen, but we, through our like ambient combatants and our environmental storytelling, you'll know a little bit more about what has happened there, how Maya's come in and pushed them all out.
So are
and
we
see someone
actually
trying to
getting
fight
story,
back,
or is it
get in
just
'cause they think that's
activities?
their land, right? And as a player, you're trying to go in there and play in a similar way that you might find like Overthrow, where we took a lot of inspiration from. So you get to choose how you want to fill that progress bar. Do you want to finish a bunch of encounters that are randomly generated, which adds to a bunch of replayability? You can progress by finding hidden chests or defeating roaming high-value targets. There's collectibles in there as well.
It
all without
feels
timer,
like,
so you and your fire team can strategize and take their time to go through the area. And then
what's
once you've
that?
completed the
It feels
area,
like the
unlike
Dreadnought
Overthrow, you move
activity,
to the next
but on
area
different
by way
planet.
of ship that you'll see on the screen. A little bit.
Stellar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was talking to our gameplay folks before this launched, and we talked a bit about there's a bit of like, nether DNA in here, where you have your main objectives, and then you can find things throughout the
Called
area
it.
as well.
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, we have Vivian went ham and gave us these like quite frankly unbalanced buffs that will have a rare chance of spawning, and you get to choose which one. One example is that you will, if you choose it, you'll just be radiant and what's the other? Radiant and amplified. Thank you. Yeah, just the whole time. So yeah, have fun choosing between these crazy buffs and using them to finish the activity.
Awesome. And when we're talking about collectibles, there's going to be some lore collectibles too, correct?
Absolutely. We're continuing the pass forward from.
All right, Vostok's got
the
that
previous
freaking
expansion,
axe.
and those lore drops will tell players a lot about what to expect in Renegades, both in the cast and the themes. Though it's not explicit, so they'll have to use a little detective work, we hope, but it will give a lot of information about what's to come.
Got it. So these are going to be like the data pads you find in the portal.
Exactly.
Awesome. Yeah, so I mean, let's talk about weapons. Let's
Yeah,
talk about
but
the
it's
loot.
one of those
And
things,
Noah,
they've got
now
the
it's
lore
time for
reason
Spotlight to
why
go on you.
Siva's dead.
First up, let's talk
So
about the
it's kinda
exotic that's
like,
going to be in the rewards pass for
brother, it kind of feels like it's going to be a dry
so
season.
New Malpais is going to be our reward pass exotic for this release. Obviously, with the Edge of Fate, we released a rocket frame pulse rifle, Mint Retrograde, that people have really taken to a liking for. And we kind of took a look at that, and we're like, well, what's a cool way to one-up that and like plus one it for an exotic? So you may notice from the gameplay that this rocket pulse doesn't just shoot like the micro rockets, it shoots sticky bombs. And these will stick onto the environment, they'll stick onto enemies. And when you hold
So
down
an
the reload
exotic
button,
rocket pulse
pop like
rifle.
little firecrackers. And it's really fun to just sort of like spray them out across like a group of guys, and then you like turn around, walk away from them, and click the button, have them like pop all behind you, because cool Guardians don't look at explosions.
So this may say a lot about me as a person, but you can also stick these to your teammates, right?
I guess you'll have to see.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about the next exotic. This is going to be tied to an exotic mission that's coming out in October, and I can already see you kind of getting excited.
Exotic
Vivian
mission
was excited
October,
for
great.
The crossbows that we added.
Yeah,
let's
they're
talk about
sticky
the
rockets.
Iron Axe.
Yeah, he kept me waiting, huh? Yeah, so the exotic mission, you know, way back with Rise of Iron, like as a player, I remember like the YouTube videos coming out ahead of it of like YouTubers being like, hey, maybe Bungie's gonna give us this axe that's in the marketing, and like obviously didn't come to pass in that release, and like come final shape, Crows got it, and I, much like many people, were like, man, I want that axe.
When's my turn?
Like I want that
Yeah.
thing. So when I heard that we were going to be doing a little Return to the Plague Lands, it was like, I'm going to twist whatever.
So, okay,
arc
it looks
necessary
like it's
to
also gonna have a
finally
skin
get the
as well.
thing that I know I want, and I've seen other people want for ages. So yeah, I can confirm that's no relic. That's our new exotic weapon.
Thank you. Yeah, and I think for Clayton and Jerome, since this exotic mission, the team is finishing up the touches and really building this experience. It'll be launching in October. So
Looks
let's
like
just give
on
a
third
quick
hit,
preview,
it's got
no
a
spoilers
shockwave.
or no deep spoilers about what's the premise.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Maya wants to expand her reach, and the best way to do that is like the same way you would with the Wi-Fi in your
Yeah,
house.
it's
you need
shockwave.
expanders, you need routers, right, to boost that signal. And so she is going to be looking to get her hands on Warset technology, which
Ooh.
is why we'll be working with Saint 14.
Looks like it's
and
got
Anna
a
Bray throughout the season. Saint
it's got a
14 is sort
hold
of our
R
tactical
interaction?
expert, and then Anna, as with her association of Rasputin.
Yeah, it
having,
does.
all the subject matter expertise on war sets.
Awesome.
It's
And
kind of
not
like
to get too deep in
Pyrogale.
spoilers, but you will be working
Ooh.
with 3 of Kayatol's Scions specialists for the mission. So,
Man, I can't wait. Yeah, October can't come soon enough. So let's come back to day 1. I keep checking my watch here. 10 minutes, 11 minutes until launch. We also have a slate of legendary weapons that are going to be coming out. We have some armor sets in the portal that are going to have brand new armor set bonuses, but we also have brand new
It'd be cool if the
weapons.
fact
And I
that
know
it
a
does
couple of these
fire
things are kinda
tornadoes, if they
complementary
give
to
synergy
each
with
other.
Pyrogale. Oh,
So
I
if
agree
Ashen
wholeheartedly,
Iron,
and that's where I'm
we at
thinking
Sandbox were, like, taking a look at some
maybe
of
a
the
good
devices we bring
synergy
up,
with
and we talked
Pyrogale
about
would
Mida
be
and Sturm getting
fucking
some
awesome.
updates to bring them up to that modern parity. But like when those weapons came out during year 1, they came with their paired weapons, and like during that time, it made sense, like have 2 primaries. That was what the game was. So when we were taking a look at like bringing them up to modern sandbox standards, we were like, well, we should probably hit it for the paired weapons as well too. So we took a look at some of our other special archetypes, and we're like, what could we set up for this? So with this release, we talked
Quicksilver
about them,
nanites
I
that
believe,
attach to
in
the wielder charge the blade,
Quid,
are
but
pressed when
we
fully
are gonna
charged to
have
overclock the
a
attached
rocket
nanites,
frame,
enhancing blade
drain,
offensive
unfall,
capabilities. Light
and
attacks deal
a
increased
new,
damage to
lightweight
targets.
Mida macro
Fully charged
tool
heavy
shotgun.
attack trade to flaming
And both
Quicksilver
of them
swarm
have
NATO.
tools that kind of key off of being those paired weapons. So like Mida macro tool has Discord and Trench Barrel, and it was really fun.
I'll
to, like,
I'll
run
explain
that
here
with
in a
Mida.
bit.
So you have, like, you pop a couple guys to get those like attachments onto Mida, and then you switch and you have Discord proc, and you like slap a guy, and then you just are able to like pump into a bunch of dudes. And it's got the really cool draw animation from Wasteland
Mida Micro?
30th anniversary, so you get that cool like cowboy draw, and it's so fun to run
And
around.
the sidearm
with.
is arc, correct?
It is our second arc rocket frame sidearm. It's got a pretty big mag size, so instead of volt shot on this one, it has jolting feedback, which is pretty fun to plug a couple rockets into a guy and have them jolted, and then pop them with like a really powerful Sturm shot.
Awesome. Yeah, and these are going to be added so through the portal. Reclaim is going to be
Okay.
living in the portal in the fire team area, and that's where you're going to earn some of these. We also have Crucible Ops is going to be the source of the shotgun, and then a couple other things as well that you'll discover in just a few minutes here. So let's move on. Our last conversation, or our last topic of the day, is going to be around events, our recurring events. And the first thing that kicks off is actually a new one to celebrate Reclaim. And Clayton, what are we going to be doing today?
yeah, we're launching with New Territories Reclaim. It's a new standard event that will highlight a new activity. And so we do that with our daily challenges, weekly challenges, or it's for a week, so 1 weekly challenge, and then it has its own reward track.
So it looks
and
like
an
to
event
detonate
home
the
that you can
stickies,
launch
you got to
with.
freaking reload.
Awesome. And then I believe it's next week. We also have Iron Banner coming back.
That's right.
So is that also going to have an event?
Yes, it'll have event home. Same slew of things. Where daily challenges, a weekly challenge. You'll have your reward track. We have a hand cannon coming in there. We have an armor set, and you'll have your title and your triumphs as well.
Yeah, I believe we redacted the new set bonuses for Iron Banner, but I've heard they're actually quite fun.
Pretty cool. Might want to hold on to it when you get your hands on that axe.
Awesome. And then the third event that's going to be coming is Arms Week, Noah. Coming back, the first one was all centered around, let's look at hand cannons. We had the new shotgun style hand cannon.
Yeah.
And then with this one, it's going to be shotguns.
Yeah. We're taking a look at shotguns this time around. So much like during the prior Arms Week, we will also have a cool slate of shotgun mods this time around. My favorite of which, when the designer who was working on them, Taylor Bjorndal, who was on the stream before, when he was starting to work on them, me and him were sort of bouncing ideas back and forth. And I was talking about like old rapid fire frame shotguns when they had like the really fast rate of fire, and I was like, I mean, what if all shotguns shot like that? And he like paused for a minute, and then I got the message, what if they're all just Fourth Horsemen?
Oh, Bjorn, you mad scientist.
It is really entertaining to take a slug shotgun and have it shoot that fast.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of celebration with these volatile mods for hand cannons during that week. So with shotguns,
Yeah,
we
but
have
you're
the one
nerfing
that's
them.
effectively going to be Fourth Horseman everywhere.
Yeah.
But we have a couple more too,
Yeah.
and we'll leave that for players to discover
It's going
soon.
to be super awesome.
Next up on the slate, we have Festival Lost is going to be coming back during Ashen Iron, and we have a preview of our armor sets. So these are armor ornament sets. Y'all voted on these earlier in the year last year, and we had to show them. They look
Great
awesome.
votes.
I cannot wait to have those roses on my
Yeah.
shoulders.
Yeah,
but
they
with,
look good, but
Festival Lost we have
More money.
some new activity content, correct?
That's right. The Headless Ones have broken out of Haunted Lost Sector jail. Because of that, we have new activities. So we have a new PvE 6-player activity called Haunted Altars. And then we have a new PvP activity called Red Rumble. Hocus Focusing is coming back. It's going to be a 2-week-long activity. We have 2 new weapons.
Why 2
surprise
weeks?
Weapons. You'll have your reward track, event home, the whole shebang. I'm very excited. It is very fun to play in those activities.
Awesome.
So it's chaos. Just all chaos.
And then the last on our list, so Jerome, we have a new event called Call to Arms that's going to be coming at the end of Ashen Iron. Can you give us a quick overview?
Sure. We're going to be working with Devrim, Devrim K, who has been holding down the EDZ for the better part of a decade without a ghost, right? Doing it all in one life. And he'll be
I like the fact that we're getting new rocket sidearms.
And being our liaison to the foundries. We have to remember that most of the guns that the Guardian fires are designed and produced in the last city. Of course, we know that they're actually designed and produced here with the sandbox team.
What do you mean? Cassoid's in-house.
That's right, Mr. Cassoid, right here. So we will be working with Devrim to stress test the latest and greatest in gear from the foundries, and the Guardians that can push their gear the furthest and get the most out of it will reap the greatest reward. So there's a competitive aspect to it as well.
I doubt we're actually getting freaking.
When we're talking about this competitive aspect, the Call to Arms is going to be a ton of rewards, legendaries, some cosmetics for anyone to earn, but then we have kind of some cosmetics at the top for our hardcore, so to speak, to really earn. And Clayton, I think you were talking about a helmet?
Yeah, we have a helmet ornament. It is fantastic looking. When you equip it, if you're in that top earner, you will have this tail of flames coming from you. And much like the trial glows, these flames signify that you are a top competitor in this.
So when I load into the tower, I'm going to see this guy with a giant fiery mohawk. I'm going to know, okay, they were top of Call to Arms.
Impressed and scared at the same time.
But then we have some cosmetics, like I said, for just general players too. Like I believe there's an exotic ornament for the pulse rifle on the reward track, and a bunch of other things to earn too. So
we have daily login rewards as well, and we have vouchers
I don't
that
know.
will actually
I don't know,
help
Ethan.
set you up for the next season.
Awesome. Yeah, well, thanks for the quick overview. We will definitely have more information in the tweet about this new event. And as we're going through Ashen Iron, we'll have an update before each of these events to give you a quick a recap of what we've been talking about today. So just to end it up as well, we have a brand new crossbow that's going to be coming in. So our first crossbow was introduced through raids. And this one is going to be through our events. To start, it's going to be a low drop chance from any of the events that we just covered. And then in Call to Arms, you can focus this thing to really hammer on getting those rolls. And Noah, what's the damage type on this?
Yeah, so you might have seen it in the gameplay. It's going to be a stasis crossbow. And obviously, with a stasis weapon comes stasis perks. And I'm very happy to say that it does have chill clip, and it in fact does freeze in 2 shots. And oh my god, there's such a fun play pattern of you pop a guy twice with it, they freeze, and then if you have serrated bolts, you run up and you pull them out of him, and the serrated bolts do damage and cause him to pop. So you just put him in a major, and you cause him to explode and with all the dudes around him. And it was an oddly fun play pattern of just running around and blasting people that I got quite a few giggles out of in playtests.
I can't wait. So again, to say it, today with our
exactly, Mad Racer.
It will be a low drop chance, but over the course of the rest of the season with each event, more chances, and then Call to Arms, you can focus it along with other gear and really go hard for the role you want.
And it has a holofoil
and a holofoil in Call to Arms as well. So that brings us to the end of our show. So thank you all for joining us on the couch. Thank you all for joining us at home. We hope you enjoyed the Vidoc, the Renegades.
All right. I've got to fucking, oh God, I'm about to go off on a rant, chat. Stand by, because I'm getting on the freaking soapbox right now, because oh my God, I am pissed. I am so fucking pissed right now. So let's start, okay? Majority of the things that they're going to fix, the featured gear, right? The freaking hampering of our ability to build craft and take it into activities, the freaking hampering of our freaking use of the exotics, all that going away when Renegades reworks to freaking bonus engrams, freaking all types of nice little things. When is it happening? Renegades. Why the fuck are we waiting this freaking long? And not only that, let's go over the fact that Robbie Stevens, who is the assistant game director, was the one talking the whole entire time with DMG. Not once did Tyson Green show his fucking face. Tyson, where the fuck are you, dude? Seriously, you're the game director. You haven't said shit to the community since day fucking one. Okay, if you're not gonna do your job, Bungie, fire Tyson, make Robbie the freaking game director at this point. Jesus Christ. It's not that freaking difficult. But not only that, the fact that you're even decided, oh yeah, by the way, here's new content. We're gonna time gate rewards. We're gonna wait till October for the exotic mission. Oh wait, we're gonna time gate a new weapon and give it a low drop chance. You dropped the fucking bomb again. How many times do you have to fumble the ball? Jesus Christ, you make the fucking Browns look like an absolute professional football team at this point. God damn. And don't get me wrong, there were some positives in there. Okay? I love what they're bringing with freaking Renegades. Okay? I loved what I saw from a story content wise. Okay? Even the content looked good. Okay? It looked like it had more freaking content than Edge of Fate freaking did. Okay? But then here we go, Action Iron. Yeah, we've got a freaking actual content. Where was this type of content? Sorry, I'm not gonna get freaking dragged into. I love Mactus, but I'm not gonna freaking raid over to him right now because I just don't. Oh, I'm so fracking pissed. Like I don't even want to finish the freaking. I don't even want to finish the freaking bingo card that Lunar Wolf did, and I'm sorry, dude, but like, so like right now, there's no incentive. There's no incentive for me to play the game right now. None whatsoever. Wait till October. Why? Because there should be increased chance of getting the new crossbow. You're gonna have the exotic mission, and then you're gonna be able to play catch up with the freaking reward, with the gear, with the power leveling. It's gonna be at a better point than it is right now. And I hate that I have to say that, but seriously, don't play Destiny 2 right now. Wait till October, because all of their changes, all of their improvements start in October. And oh yeah, by the way, Bungie, you're then going to be competing with yet another game, because right now you're going to be competing with Borderlands 4. In October, you're going to be competing against Battlefield 6. Like I said, I hate being this person. I hate being this negative. But when the studio keeps making more fumbles than the bottom 3 NFL teams, even God doesn't know what you're freaking doing at that point. I'm going to tell you right now, that's a controversial take. This makes my head hurt when Destiny is a game I love so much. I agree. Cinema. Look, I love Destiny so much. Freaking, I'm sitting here and I'm playing a mobile game on an emulator on my computer because it feels more of a Destiny game than Destiny fucking 2. Like fucking what? How? Make that make sense. You know, I know I made that TikTok yesterday, you know, about the shit talking and speculating, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's freaking, I stand by it. I honestly believe that Luke and Mark just freaking on the way out the door kind of gave Bungie the middle finger, being like, ha ha ha, just wait till rise these nuts in your mouth. And they set NetEase up for success. And by the way, if you're going to shit on NetEase because they happen to be over in China, by the way, take a look at Marvel Rivals. They're freaking beating the dick in on freaking Blizzard. Seriously, don't turn your nose at them. And the fact that NetEase is freaking actually listening to the community, like I've been in the Discord looking at people's suggestions. NetEase is already making the changes and not acknowledging, and it's like, oh my God. They're moving then faster than Bungie on their best day. Hey, 242, if you're going to be going from Battlefield 6 to Black Ops 7, I suggest therapy, and I say that respectfully. Sorry. Just heads up, fish with the starting rod sucks ass. Yeah, it does. This is still Pete's influence. It feels like it does. It does because, and I'm going to say this, Tyson Green. Tyson Green has been there. Tyson Green has been there. Yeah, Clutch, Action Iron was never going to drop our power. The only time when our power is going to drop is going to be in Renegades. Every major expansion release is when the power drop will be happening. Okay, not the major updates. Oh, I agree, Biz. I agree. But like today, listening to that freaking dev live stream, don't get me wrong, it gave me hope that freaking Bungie is gonna be making changes. The problem is that the changes are so fucking slow. All these great changes, quality of life, new content, Renegades. Oh, all these other things, October. Action Iron drops, exotic mission in October. Buffs to super and subclasses, October. Oh, here's new weapons. Low drop chance. They're going to increase as the season goes. The fuck? Exactly, and these changes are happening way too fucking late. It's like someone needs to take a cattle prod, stick it there to their heinies, and say, get them moving. Vehicle control updates. New territories, reclaim is here, seize the front lines.
I'm in danger.
Freaking mood. I hate that they said all these problems or feedbacks won't be fixed until next. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, that's the raid. That's the raid. Sorry. All right. Let's take a look. Sorry, that is loud as balls. All right. Let me go. Bungie should buy Anthem and build that. Don't kill it like Destiny 2. No, Bungie needs to leave Anthem alone. Like Bungie should not touch Anthem. There needs to be another studio. I'm going to say this. Here's a controversial take. NetEase needs to acquire Anthem. And I promise you, they're going to do a better job with Anthem than Bungie ever would. Sorry. I had to say that. Oh yeah, great. Oh yeah, I mean, cool. Yay. More fucking monetization. Oh yeah, it requires silver. Like I don't even want to freaking. Yeah, at times it feels like I repeated a job doing it. Yeah, pretty much. New territories reclaim. So this is so we got a new GL, Waveframe GL, Void. Sorry. Yes, your light level has stayed the same. My light level is the same. So I am currently 422. Hey, Dance Dad. If you would have seen the entirety of the dev live stream, you'll understand the frustration of what is going on. No, it's not an error denial. It's a freaking, it's a waveframe, which I don't have a problem. I like waveframes. Nice Titan, thank you. Freaking, I like the Icefall mantle build. All right, so basically, these are the weapons that are coming with the new territories weapon engram. We've got the folded root, aggressive frame, high damage, high recoil rocket. It's a void. This is the subversion bow. Once again, this has a low drop chance. Why? Because bungo. Special or heavy. If you're talking about the wave frame, that is special. Romantic Death wave frame is special. Folded root. Okay, there's only 3 weapons. Wow, so the submersion bow doesn't have a hollow foil. What the fuck? Wait, patch notes? Oh, Christ on a cross. Chad, am I about to lose my shit even more? Oh, God. They even have a launch blog. Do I even really want to frickin'... Oh, God. Okay. Reward multiplier in the portal will now use account max power. Yep, we're aware that fire team power no longer reduces the reward multiplier when below 300. This will improve low power players playing with their high power friends, allowing them for easier access to tier 2. Tier 3 plus will so require leveling your power to earn the rewards. Adjust the time limits for most activities across the portal. Increase time limits for most activities. Reduce the scoring value of the locked loadout modifier. Oh boy. Yeah, we got to take a look at that real quick. Okay. All right. So we're going to freaking... I'm just setting this up just to test, right? So locked loadout. How... Oh, hold on. Doesn't look like that much of a loss. That's avant-garde. So where's that new one? Okay, so these are all the other like nifty little touche. Okay, so this is okay, so that's locked loadout, right? And that's touche. That's a significant bump. So touche is weapon and armor loadout is restricted to new gear and weapons armor only. Equipment is locked during the entire activity. So pretty much, as you can guess it, that's probably going to be the best one. Do we have any freaking worth of shit? No. Okay. Standard Banes. We've got lightning combatant trade-off. All right, so hot step, Vex. That okay. So with that right there, fairly easable. Okay, smoke jumper. That's that freaking one of the new armor pieces. So okay, not too bad. 38 power. shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, freaking Touche is gonna be the way to go, because if you used locked equipment, that's gonna like really knock you down. Did they show the new weapons armor? They showed new weapons. They showed new weapons. I'll show that real quick. So, whoops, sorry. So, okay, hold on. Let me go into the engram. All right. So we've got a new Waveframe GL Void. We have a new Void Rocket. They love Void, apparently. And there is a new combat bow. This is similar to the one out of the raid, except this one is stasis, and they've already stated that this is a low drop chance. So already they said, oh yeah, you want this nifty bow, which is pretty freaking cool, does really good damage. Yeah, low drop chance. Ash and Iron initialize. All right, let's see. Nightmare of Galron. Okay, looks like they're increasing the freaking focuses too. Because, oh, Presage. Presage is on the menu, boys. And ladies and gentlemen, Presage is there. And it's the freaking outrageous fortune. Yep. Okay, so we've got our 3 dungeons. Avalon. We got Encore, Kells, Flower, Starcross. Yeah, okay. So they added 2 new exotic missions to the to Pinnacle Ops. Okay. Wasn't the raid crossbow? No, it's Arc. It's Arc. Stand by 1 second. I'll pull it over. God forbid we got to grind for the loot. Hey, Curie, when they literally stated, oh, it's going to be a low drop chance, but as the season progresses, we're going to increase the drop chance. Time gating. Time gating. Can we fuck off with the time gating? Okay. Yeah, they added a duality mission. Stand by 1 second. Sorry. Gotta scroll this down a little bit more. Here we go. Is this the one? No, that's... All right. Titan. Where's their bow drop? Exactly. So it's a random chance from anywhere. This is the one from the raid. So it's Arc. Now, I'm going to say this right now. For your standard like DPS loadout with this, freaking explosive bolt, and you want something with either that's going to be like a quick reload, or in Vorpal. Vorpal with this is freaking nuts. But the explosive bolt is what makes it amazing. All right, back to this. Ultimate difficulty matchmaking opens week 10. That's gonna be funny. Players that are 400 power at the start of Ash and Iron will now find themselves in reward rank platinum rather than gold 5. So basically at 450, you can start trying to get tier 5s. Conquests are now replayable. Solo ops, pinnacle ops, just a lot of fixes. Okay, Kepler mythical. Okay, Kepler mythic difficulty, rebalance mythic difficulty to appropriately scale for differing fire team. Okay, so now for people that want to solo Kepler mythic, yes, you can do it now. Made adjustments for power delta, retuned incoming outgoing damage. Did they fix the bullet sponge hell? Difficulty lowered for solo, scales up for duo and full team. Interesting. Add mission objectives to indicate that the activity will restart and continue after completing the full round of the sieve. Okay. We got the English voices for Ikora, Orin, and Shioma. Added a launch node on Kepler for the invitation opening mission so players can replay it on normal. Yep. Crucible changes. A lot there. Trials of Osiris. Desert Perpetual added extra rewards for clearing all encounters, defeating all 3 bosses before beating Kyrgos to earn an extra piece of gear. In addition, we're introducing 2 weekly challenges. The challenges give an extra piece of loot from their first clear of an encounter each week in either version of the raid. Completing this challenge will unlock an additional one that provides bonus loot from just the epic raid. Remove the requirement to complete the Combined Mastery Triumph to increase a gear drop. Now all Desert Perpetual gear will drop at tier 2. So going back to the dev live stream. So as of right now, Desert Perpetual is dropping at tier 2, first time going in on normal. Starting in Renegades, it will be tier 3. Do with that information with how you wish. Okay, and tier 3 in the epic raid, no matter your current power level. In addition, we have added a chance for all gear earned during a full clear to drop at up to +2 from your base tier. Add feats to increase chances. Okay, so let's take a look at that real quick. So Kepler, customize. So I was 422 on my gear set. So basically, now let's start adding in token limit, tier 2. Let's see, battalions, tier 2, phase limit, tier 3, shits and giggles, challenges, tier 3. Worst part about it is it's such a great raid, but doing something that is near contest mode difficulty should not be loot by chance. Gonna say it. Shooting range, gameplay investment. Okay, changes. Didn't they say that they were reverting the changes to Stronghold? Peacekeepers. If I could sign in without freaking, if I could sign in without doxing myself, I'd show you how to do it. All right. Chat, like I said, I'm just like, I'm honestly drained right now reading through this. I am like at this point where I'm just so freaking aggravated with the state of this game. And then don't play if you're drained. That's the thing. I just fired it up because I was like, oh, I wanted to go freaking check out. I wanted to go check out the new activity, but I don't even feel like doing that because I don't even feel that it's going to be worth my time. Because Bungie, in their infinite wisdom, said, hey, here's new activity, here's everything, but we're gonna make sure that this loot is on a low drop chance. Great, you just took away incentive for me to play your game. All right, 1 second. Terba Barn. Reduce base damage recharge super contribution to 20%. Reduce damage based recharger super contribution versus Taken Seekers by 60%. Higher creative needs got reduced by 20%. Reduce damage-based recharger super contribution by 80%. So for those wondering what that means, is that basically if you're using Outbreak Perfected and you were using it to get that beautiful super back so freaking quick. Nope. It's, yeah. GG's. All right, so this is the new pulse rifle. Let's take a look at it. So rounds fired embed themselves in target, are pressed to detonate embedded rounds. So great.
We need a centralized city government now more than ever.
That just so great. I fire a weapon. I gotta press another button to freaking to get the actual damage done.
Checking right now.
I will never understand how they thought that was going to be good. Forgot to lock the mouse again. No, I'm going to be logging off here in a second. I'm just going to check some things real quick. Does the better rounds do a ton of damage? I agree. Like I said, I'm kind of like, I didn't even get the freaking god roll for whatever weapon was there last week. Okay, yeah, I'm looking. Yep, there it is for me. But, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and log out chat. Like I said, I'm gonna try and get my thoughts together on this freaking on this dev live stream. Should have made it a bar and rounds explode automatically after a certain amount of embed shots. I agree. Hold up, I have the most expensive one. It don't have it. Oh shit. Dungeon is not a day one, second week. Yeah, that's supposed to be what? Renegades? Yeah, I'm not surprised that they're doing that because, yep, they just sent out a tweet. Yeah. All right, chat. Tomorrow, hopefully I'm in a mood where I'm going to be wanting to play some Destiny 2, check out the new content and whatnot. But I think safe to say I could tell anybody that if you want to play the game, play the game. If you're still having fun with it, enjoy it. Absolutely. But if you're like me and you're frustrated with the current state of the game, take a break. Come back in October. Come back in October when they start implementing the changes to the portal, when they bring in the exotic mission, when they actually don't time gate rewards to low drop chances. Enjoy other games. Have fun. I know I will. All right, chat. I'm out of here. I'm gonna freaking, you know what? I'm not even gonna raid out. It's one of those days. All right, chat. In the meantime, I will see you all tomorrow. Y'all take it easy. Do the self-care. Eat the food, drink the water, take the meds if you need to. But above all else, treat yourself, respect yourself. TikTok, I'm out of here. YouTube, it's been a blast. Twitch, I will catch you all tomorrow. See you. Love your faces.